Hi, welcome to Undead Yarn. This is episode 55. My name is Heidi, and you can find me on Ravelry as Knitty Girl, and on Twitter, YouTube, and Periscope, and Instagram as Knitty Girl 1, like the number 1. Hi everyone. I decided to try it outside again today. It's a little cooler than it was last week, and the sun isn't here, so hopefully that will keep things from being too warm. I think I may go ahead and open this up while I'm sitting here, if I can get it open, so I get a little bit of a breeze. Okay, my works in progress. What am I working on? I am working on my Roadkill socks, Roadkill 80s, and I'm not sure how much I had done last time, but this is where I am for now. I did the first one, and I think this one I showed you guys last week. I'm actually to the point on the second one where it's time for me to put in the yarn for the afterthought heel. And this is my Roadkill 80s on the Twilight base. It's got sparkle, and it's in my Me, My Dog, and Some yarn bag. And then my other work in progress is in my Pin Hook and Needles bag, which was made by Silver Shed. And this one is my Christmas socks. And this is an example of what the Snow Miser colorway knits up as. I have pre-orders up in the shop right now for Snow Miser. So this is what it looks like. And this is also on the Twilight base. So right now I'm knitting two things that are sparkly, and if I finish them in time, I can enter. I'm going to enter into Bookish Stitcher's Sparkle Knit Along. I think you can knit anything with sparkle yarn for. I don't know how long the contest is running, but I know it's going on right now, and she has some good prizes. So go check it out, guys. So those are the only things that I've been working on. And I do have one FO that y'all probably know because from last time I was working on these. I finished my mitts, which were for Halloween. I wore these when I was Little Red Riding Hood. And if you wanted to see pictures of that, you can go look on Instagram. I posted some pictures. So these are done. And this is in my old Vampire base. The colorway for this is Freddy. So this one, these all self-striping, all self-striping stuff today. So that's all I've been working on. And like I said, last week was Halloween, and I know we did something during the day. We went out to a brew pub to have lunch, and then in the evening, we dressed up. My husband was a big bad wolf, and I was Little Red Riding Hood, and we went out to this place that was having an 80s party. So that was fun, because we got to hear a lot of music that we like, since we both were teenagers in the 80s. It's fun to look back and hear all of those songs again. And we actually won a prize, and we ended up getting free drinks for the night, which was really nice. Then I also went to knit group at the Happy U. And I also wanted to say I just got my check from the Happy U for the yarn crawl. Thank you guys so much. I was amazed at the check. I opened it. I was like, wow. You guys, thank you so much to everybody who went and bought some yarn from me at the Happy U during the yarn crawl. Makes me very happy, and I'm really happy that I'm able to keep continuing with my business. It's I've seen a lot of changes in the last 6 months, and I'm very happy with the way things are going. So thank you guys. And I also forgot to say last time, thank you to Elizabeth Green Musselman for gifting me her new pattern, which is called Leona Dare. And I don't have a colored printer, so here's a picture. It's a 2-color shawl, and it used 1 skein of Yarn Carnival and 1 skein of Mustache. So it's all Texas. Everybody who is involved in this project is from Texas. So thank you, Elizabeth. I look forward to knitting that. I have so many shawls I want to knit right now, and I'm trying to knit some of, I wanted to knit up my my Christmas socks so that y'all could see what the colorway looked like. But I have all these shawls I want to knit now. I guess it'll be great when we get to the shawl along in January, but for now I gotta finish up my socks. Those are the only things I've been working on. Oh, and there are still kits available for the bookworm kit that was the collaboration with Silvershed and Talia Pen Hook and Needles, who does Franciscan Gypsy designs, and my my worsted weight base in Zombified is part of the kit. There's a bookworm pattern, and then there's a bookworm bag, and then there's a kit. My yarn is in the kit, and it's the worsted weight yarn. Why does this happen every time I want to record out here? Somebody starts getting out the saw. Oh well, bear with me, guys. I guess I'll go right into stash enhancement. After seeing everybody who was buying all this lovely stuff from Into the World at Rhinebeck, I was so jealous. So when Sadie, who is Blue Ruin, she has the Yarnivore podcast, posted a bunch of Into the World on Instagram that she was destashing, I had to go ahead and get some. And the colors are just beautiful. It's like a beautiful copper, and then there's a dark gray and teal blue, and then a very light blue and some white in there. And it's really lovely to feel, soft to the touch. This is Polworth silk, Polworth and Tussa silk, and this is called Talisman. So I'm so excited to spin this. It's not going to be the next thing I spin, but I will spin it soon because I really am loving everybody's finished objects with this fiber. Oh, and their yarn is pretty cool too. I really hadn't heard much about their yarn, but I saw a lot of pictures of it, and it looks really interesting. It kind of spiral stripes. So I am very happy to have my first Into the World. And then I also got some things in the mail. I can't believe this. I don't know why. They want a song when I'm out here. And I had placed a pre-order for Barn Dance, which is Fiber Nymph's new colorway for the fall, one of her new self-striping colorways, and there is a variegated stripe in this. It's called Barn Dance, and I saw it and I just thought it was really beautiful. She sent this to me on her new Corriedale base, so that'll be interesting to work with. I think this is going to make some sturdy socks, probably like BFL. And she's so sweet. She sent me an extra skein. Thank you, Lisa. I am so excited because I love your yarn. And she sent me an extra skein. This is called After the Harvest Bright, and look at the colors. They're just spectacular. I love her sense of color. It's awesome. But thank you. That was so sweet of you. Thank you very much. And then what else did I get? I have a bunch of stuff over here. When I went to the yarn shop, Ann Podolsek from Willy Wonka was there actually during the yarn crawl when I was at Romy Hill's class, so I didn't get to go up and see her trunk show. But her book finally came into the Happy Use, so I bought one. And this is Free Spirit Knits. And there are a couple things in here. There's one in particular that I absolutely love that I don't know if I would ever knit it because I'm not a big sweater knitter. I love this shawl. This is called the Three Sisters shawl, but I think anything in this color I just love. But I really like big shawls, and that looks really big and comfy. But there's a sweater in here that I just think is gorgeous, but I don't have a lot of sweater mojo going on. You notice when I destashed, I got rid of some of the sweater quantities of yarn that I had because I don't know, I don't enjoy knitting knitting sweaters as much as I enjoy knitting accessories, I think. I like socks and shawls. Those are my two favorite things to knit. I do really love this. This is the Churro sheep cowl, because I don't wear hats, but I love all those little hats with the sheep on them. But I do wear cowls, and look at that. Isn't that spectacular? I love that. So that may be in the list. And I do need to do some more color work. It's been a while. I don't really do a lot of color work either, but I can't find that. Oh, here it is. This is the sweater. This sweater is just stunning. I love this. It is a gorgeous sweater, and this is called the Monument Valley sweater. I adore that. But like I said, I'm not big on knitting sweaters, so I don't know if I would ever do it. But I love it, and I love the colors that she picked for that. Just beautiful. But it's a gorgeous book, like most of her books are. I also got in the mail, I've been watching Mulder Vine shop for a while because I really like the Outlander colorway. I don't watch Outlander, and I started watching it, and I just think it's probably not for me, but I'll probably try to read the book at some point because I like to read a lot. So, but I really like the colors in this colorway. And she put up on Instagram that she had a couple that she had not listed in her shop, and I happened to be at home at the time, and I was so excited, so I went and bought it. And this is on a VFL base, but I really like the colors that I like the color combination, the orange and blues with gray. She has a different color sense than I do, so every once in a while I will see something in her shop that I think, wow, that's really beautiful, and it's different. So every once in a while I see something in her shop that I'm like, well, I probably won't ever dye those colors together, or I wouldn't have thought of that. So it's kind of nice to try different dyers. And then I also yeah, I do have quite a few things to show you guys today. I also got a skein of yarn from Andre Sue Knits, and I'm sure a lot of you already know about her. She has a podcast too, and she's a dyer. Her last podcast was really interesting because she showed how she made roving using a diz, and she did it off of a blending board, and then she also did it off of a hackle. When I took my class, I think it was maybe a couple years ago, I can't remember how long ago. I know I talked about it on the podcast. When I took my class, we did it off of the hackle, and I think that was the way that I had thought of doing it, but I had not thought of doing it off of a blending board. I think it's easier off a hackle, but she did a little video too, so it's really cool. You can see how she figured out how to do it. Anyway, this is in her Lush base, and it's called Rollick, and I wanted to try this because I don't have this base. This is 20% alpaca, 60% superwash merino, and 20% nylon, and it's 430 yards. And you know that is luscious because it's got a little bit of alpaca in it. Whenever anything has alpaca in it, it's so nice and soft. But once again, she has a different color sense from me, and I like the color combinations together. And I really want to try this base, and I think it'll make really, really warm socks, because since it has nylon in there with the alpaca, I think they would be nice, strong, sturdy socks. So this will be a pair of socks at some point. I think that's all for stash enhancement. I did want to also show you guys the fiber that I talked about last time. I've been really interested in trying out all different kinds of fiber, and sometimes it's fun to try it just in its natural state, especially when it's hard to find. This is and there's going to be crinkling. I'm sorry, guys. There's going to be crinkling today. This is the Corriedale it's Cormo Border Leicester top that I talked about from Fiber Pusher, and this is a 2013 ISF Grand Champion. Her name is Alice. Oh, she gave me 6 ounces. How generous. Thank you, Benita. That's really sweet. She has a podcast, too. You guys should watch it if you're interested in spinning, because look at how gorgeous this is. I don't know if you can even tell, but it's this beautiful brown, and I can't even describe the color. Can I hold it back here? It's darker than it shows back here. I'm not sure if you're getting the exact color, but that's pretty close. It's really, really pretty. It's this soft brown color. And the fiber is just amazing to the touch. It's unbelievable. I think she said that they pin draft the rovings. She sells a lot of roving. I think this is roving. Hers did top. I think she called it top. I'm not sure what the complete difference is between top and roving. I used to think I knew what the difference was, but I don't think I do. To me, if it's in a thin, if it's thin like this, this is roving. But I think it says top on here. It doesn't matter. It's beautiful, whatever it is, and I'm going to enjoy spinning this. And I still have, this is only part of it. There's a big bunch in my lap. I'm going to spin this for Fiber Nymph's natural fiber spinning along thingy. I forget what she calls it, but it's starting November 15th, and I'm going to spin this for that because I think this will be lovely. I don't know if I'll be able to finish all of this, but I do have some other natural fiber that I'm going to show you that I bought from Sarah's Texture Crafts. Thank you again, Benita. I cannot tell you how happy I am to have this, and it's going to be so fun to spin. I can already tell. I can feel it. It's just squishy and lovely and beautiful. So that's the fleece that I got from her. She has a shop, and I'll link it in Ravelry under the show. Well, I don't really do show notes. I usually earburn people, but you can link to those people and figure out how to find them through that. But I will put a link for her shop in the Ravelry thread for this episode. I know that she's the last part of it is .biz because I remember thinking that, oh, that's different because most people are .com, but theirs is .biz. Okay, now I'm going to show you the natural fiber I got from Sarah Textures Fiber Crafts. And she has, I don't know, she did have a lot of this still in her shop last time I looked, but I'm not sure if she does now. She was running a sale to get rid of all these farm yarns that she had. This is Ryeland, and I'm not going to take them out of the bag because then I'll just have fiber everywhere, and I want them to be protected. This is Ryeland. And these are fibers I don't know anything about, so I think I'm going to look them up, and maybe I can talk a bit about them when I'm spinning them. This is Ryeland. This one is called Zwartables, and I believe that Blacker Yarns actually has some yarn that's made with this sheep, Zwartables. I'm guessing these are all British breed sheep. This one, and here's her card, sarahstexturecrafts.com. She does a lot of shows, and she has just everything in her shop. She's got gradient, she's got natural stuff, she's got lots of fiber, all different kind of fibers. This one kind of smells sheepy. Oh, this one really smells sheepy. This is Manx. Again, I've never heard of this. M-A-N-X, Manx. And the Zwartables is a really, really, really deep brown. These are all browns that I've shown you so far. And then here's a natural. And this is called Texel Mule. And I'm wondering what that means by mule. Because when I think of mule, I don't think of a sheep. But maybe it's just the brand of sheep. And this one has some little black, it's white, but it's got black in spots. Excuse me. Sawdust. Okay, so I'm going to try not to crinkle too much while I move on to the next part. I'm going to have to look at my notes. I also wanted to say that because it's been over a month, I redrew for 2 winners from the Knit Spin Die, or Knit Die Spin contest that we had. The person who won the yarn from, let's see, I wrote it down back here, so let me find out who the yarn was from. I think it was Lang. Yeah, Lang yarn. It's a self-striping sock yarn. The new person I drew, was Sally from Idaho. So Sally, PM me and give me your address, and I will send that out to you. And the third person to win a pattern from Franciscan Gypsy Designs, excuse me, was Christy Rose. So Christy Rose, if you contact me, I will tell you know that you are going to be winning a pattern from her. And I don't have a whole lot left to talk about except what I'm watching and reading. I do have another Christmas colorway that I put up in the shop called Naughty, and it has the colors of Santa Claus's suit in it. The inspiration is kind of from the upcoming Krampus, but also made me think of, if you ever saw Silent Night, Deadly Night, the main character in that. And it's called Naughty. And that is, again, in the fingering base, but this is a variegated yarn. And I should have a sample to show you next week, but you can go on the website and see what the colorway looks like if you're interested. And that one's already ready to go, so I can get that out, ship that out to you soon. Right now I'm reading a book called Some Luck, and I'm not enjoying it all that much. It's okay. It's by Jane Smiley, who apparently is an award-winning author. I'm reading it for book club, so I'm continuing to read it. It's getting a little more interesting as the kids in the book become adults, but not the most exciting book I've ever read. And I finished Nosferatu, which is NOS. It was NOS4A2, and it's by Joe Hill. And somebody told me Joe Hill is actually the son of Stephen King. I could see it, because I'm telling you, that was an amazing book. It was really good. It was very, you really get inside the characters' heads, and literally you get inside their heads. It's really, really bizarre. I can't completely explain it without giving away too much, but it's very creepy. You know, I like creepy. And it's very well written, and it's really interesting. It kept my attention through the whole book. I was always interested in picking that book back up and reading. What I've been watching is I'm watching season 4 of The Gilmore Girls. Believe it or not, I really, really like the characters. I'm surprised. I didn't think I was going to really enjoy the show as much as I did, but I love the characters. They're amazing. And I'm finally on Charmed season 5. And I don't think I've seen any of these episodes. Piper has a baby. She and Leo have a baby now. And I don't know if I saw any of the episodes after this. So the next couple of seasons might be mostly new to me. And I'm on Supernatural season 10. I can't remember what episode, but they have a lot of episodes. So I don't mind watching a few of them at a time, because there's always a lot going on. And then we're still watching Narcos. My husband loves it. I have to make sure I have my glasses, though, because a lot of I would say maybe the majority of the dialogue is in Spanish. And I was having a hard time when I didn't have my glasses trying to watch that show. I was squinting, because I don't know enough Spanish to be able to just translate it automatically in my head. So I'm enjoying it more now that I have my glasses, because it's subtitled. And we did watch 2 movies. We watched the Honeymoon, and that was a scary movie. It was about a couple who gets married, and they go on their honeymoon in a spot that is familiar to one of them, but not both of them, and all kinds of weird things happen. And throughout the whole thing, I'm wondering, why did you decide to come to this house? But it's a good movie. And then I also watched The Harvest, which was also another scary movie. And it took a plot twist I did not expect. That was a good movie, too. Those were both good movies. Sometimes I watch movies and I don't even bother to mention them, because some of them are just not good, you know? Some movies just are not that good. Anyway, I think that is about everything that I had to talk about today. Let me make sure. I'll look over here and see if I forgot to mention anything. I don't think I did. I think that is it. And make sure you guys still continue to enter your stuff in the horror knit along. It's going on until the end of November. So I think maybe one person has entered, but keep entering. It's still going on. It's going to be going on through November. So anything you knit that's spooky, Halloween, or horror related, it can be the name of the yarn, it can be the pattern, it can be a combination of both, whatever, however it would fall into Halloween or horror, go ahead and enter that in the thread, your objects, finished objects. And I also did want to mention somebody did enter in the FO thread. If you make something out of undead yarn, if you post in the FO thread, you are eligible to win a $7 or less pattern for each month. And the person knitted what they knitted. They had knitted it in October, but they posted it in November, so I'm going to count it for November. So if anybody else is interested and has knit something out of my yarn, go ahead and post in the FO thread for November. Actually, I just keep it open, so you can post in there whenever you finish anything in my yarn. And each month I'm going to draw for a winner. So anyway, everybody, I hope you're doing well. It's nice. It's finally cooling down here in Texas. And I guess that's a wrap. So get busy knitting or get busy dying.